Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stereo Launch video, and today we're going to be talking about active basses versus passive basses. What are the differences and which is better? Alright, so as you can see, I have two different basses today. This one is my Fender Players Series P bass or Precision bass. And this one is my Schecter Stiletto Studio 5 active bass. These are two completely different basses. Yes, they're both basses, but they work differently and have different options and all that stuff. And that's what we're going to talk about today. The main differences, the obvious ones up front, is that this one has one pickup. That's a split pickup, but it is one pickup. This one has two pickups. So there's a difference, but that's not necessarily an active versus passive difference. The Fender Jazz bass, which is similar to the P bass, also has two pickups. Now, this one has only a volume and a tone knob. This one has quite a few more knobs. It's got 5 knobs on there, and other active basses can even have more and or switches and all that stuff. But this has the volume knob. It's got a knob for switching between the two pickups and blending them, and then it's got a 3-band EQ. And that's where the active part comes in on this bass. This bass has passive pickups, but the electronics are what are active, and that's what the batteries power. So where does the actual active versus passive difference come in? Well, the difference is with the P bass, that tone knob, it's either when it's all the way up, that is just all the tone that is coming straight off the pickup, right? It's not adding any additional tone to it or increasing the high end or anything like that. It's just that is the full signal coming off of the pickup. Now you can roll that down and roll off the high end, but that's just using resistance within the pot and not using any kind of power from batteries or anything. It's just rolling off the high end. You cannot add high end to that. You would have to do that on your bass amp or something like that. With the active bass, you actually have 3 tone knobs. You have a bass knob, a mid knob, and a high end knob. And so that's one major difference right there. You have a 3-band EQ right here on your bass. The other difference is that instead of just taking away frequencies, like on the passive, you can actually add frequencies. It can enhance the high end, it can enhance the mids, or it can enhance the low end and actually add more to those. Just again, like you would on a bass amp, you turn the bass knob all the way to the right, you're going to get a lot more low end because it's actually going to add low end. So that's the active part on here. That's what that's doing. So in some ways, with an active bass, you have a lot of different tonal options you can do. Because with this one, I can switch between pickups. I can add or subtract mids or highs or bass frequencies, and there's just a lot of tonal options there. With this, it's much more simple. Basically, I can roll off the high end. If I had 2 pickups on this one like a jazz bass, then I could roll off the high end on either one of those. Right, and that's kind of about it with that. So let's do a quick sound example of what those differences kind of sound like. It's not really a fair comparison of which bass sounds better because this one has older strings on it. Not super old, but definitely a little bit older. This one's got brand new strings on it, so it's going to sound brighter and stuff like that out of the box anyways, but they're definitely different sounding basses anyways. So let's just do a feature comparison between the two of these. All right, so which one is better? It really depends. It all comes down to which bass you like that sounds the best. If it happens to be a passive, get the passive one if you like the sound of it. If it happens to be an active one, get the active one if you like the sound of it better. Then it comes down to feature sets. If you like to have all the knobs and be able to tweak and adjust and all that stuff, and that's important to you, an active bass might be exactly what you're looking for. If you don't want to mess with all that stuff, you just want to play and create and just use your fingers to switch up tone when needed, then a passive bass is probably the way to go for you. It really is just a matter of opinion and preference. As far as which of these basses I like best, I can't really say. I like this one a lot because it's a 5-string. I just love to have the 5-string. That's the main selling point for this one for me. The P bass, I actually like the sound of the P bass better. I like that it's simple and it's straightforward. I can plug it in. I know I'm going to get a great tone right out of the box. Don't have to really think about it. If I want to tweak it by how I play a little bit differently or roll off the tone knob a little bit, I can do that. But I know I'm getting a great tone out of this right out of the box without having to mess with much or worry about batteries or anything like that. The thing I don't like about this is that it's not a 5-string. So I like them both for different reasons. All right, so that's my opinion about these two basses. In the comments down below, let me know, do you have a passive bass or do you have an active bass, or what are your preferences? Why do you choose one over the other? Love to hear your thoughts and ideas about that down in the comments. And of course, if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Appreciate that very much. Got more videos coming out all the time about songwriting, home recording studios, and all that, guitars, basses, all that good stuff. And also make sure you check out my website, stereolaunch.com. Lots of good stuff over there as well. Thank you so much again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.